It's Friday night. Time for high school football. KMIR News. Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by General Air Conditioning.
All right, welcome to Friday Night Lights, your complete wrap of all your high school football action across the Coachella Valley. Tonight, league action with playoff implications. So let's get right out to Julie Bueller as she kicks off our Friday Night Lights team coverage. Julie.
Thank you, Gino. That's right. Huge De Anza League matchup tonight at Shadow Hills High School as they hosted the Rancho Mirage Rattlers. Now, we know when it's a new school, then generally the history book is a collection of blank pages, and each athlete gets to add his or her own ink. And tonight, the Rancho Mirage Rattlers will go down as a remarkably resilient squad. Let's get you out to the action. Last year, you might remember the Rattlers were 1-9 at the end of the season, but this year they got ranked in the division. In fact, coming into this game, they were 8th. However, Shadow Hills, they came into this season with high expectations. The De Anza League champs last year, they were ranked 4th coming into the season, had some bumps in the early parts of the season, but they were ranked 12th coming into this season, or this game tonight. In fact, the Knights had breakfast at Eisenhower Elementary, and some of the kids there asked for Knights players' autographs. That's how important they are to this community. On the line in this matchup tonight was the winner would be in the driver's seat for the #2 spot in the De Anza League and clinch a playoff berth. Well, the Knights got off to a great start. 14-0 was their lead by the first quarter. Rancho Mirage head coach L.D. Matthews told me that his team started off nervous, but once those nerves went away, that defense stiffened, and the Rattlers would not allow another point to the Knights. The offense rebounded by halftime. It was the Rattlers that had a 17-14 lead going into the break. And then it was a wild second half, not much scoring, but in the waning minutes, the Shadow Hill Knights had 1st and 10 on the 17-yard line late in the fourth quarter and turned it over on downs. 20-14 was the final. The Rattlers get the playoff berth and the big win over their rival. And, of course, a team that is no stranger to the playoffs, Palm Springs High School. Let's head on over there as it was homecoming for the Indians. Now, through 4 league games, the Indians' defense allowed 9 points in total, not on average, 9 total points in 4 games. But congrats to the Rajas. They put up 7 points, and that is the most any DVL team has been able to accomplish against the Indians. However, the Indians' offense put the halftime fireworks show to shame. 56-7 was the final. The Palm Springs Indians remain undefeated, 9-0, heading into the final game of the season against Cathedral City. Huge game here at Shadow Hills High School, historic for the Rattlers. And Gino, in just a couple minutes, we'll catch up with Marcus Pryor, the quarterback, and L.D. Matthews, the head coach, and talk about what it feels like to come up with this huge come-from-behind victory. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Julie. Continuing our coverage of tonight's league action, KMIR's Bridget Kay starts us out in Coachella. Bridget.
That's right. DVL competition was hot tonight here in the Valley, and knowing that the regular season would soon be coming to an end, our local teams are fighting for that one thing they've been focused on all season, a coveted playoff spot. Palm Desert visited Coachella Valley in Thermal tonight, both squads looking for their 5th win of the season. The Arabs celebrated their senior night, but they wouldn't celebrate for long. The Aztecs got the ball rolling. Bo Berryhill led his offense on that opening drive, up 7-0. Palm Desert kept control despite 2 fumbles in the first quarter. Heading into the second, Tristan Sinkinson returns a 5-yarder and a 40-yarder. The Aztecs have a 21-0 lead over the Arabs at the half. Sinkinson returns for the second half, getting his 3rd touchdown of the night. It's 28-0, and Berryhill makes a 35-yard run into the end zone to finish things off. It's a 38-0 shutout for the Aztecs. They now are 5-4 on the season. They look forward to hosting crosstown rival Xavier Prep next week, and Coachella Valley will visit Indio. Another senior night across the valley, Xavier Prep, they hosted the La Quinta Blackhawks, who would play their hearts out in their last game of the regular season. They kept things scoreless in the first quarter, but both teams came alive in the second, and the Blackhawks are gutsy. They go for 2. It's 8-7 La Quinta. They'll hold that lead. Fast forward to the fourth quarter, it's now 16-14 Blackhawks. Another huge touchdown drive for La Quinta. They jumped to 23-14 over the Saints with 3 minutes to go in the game. and it's a 23-14 win for the Blackhawks in their last game of the regular season, improving to 4-6. They'll enjoy their Friday night off next week. Xavier Prep will face Palm Desert next Friday in a much-anticipated crosstown rivalry. Now with a solid win tonight for the Blackhawks, they'll secure that no worse than third place spot in the DVL, reassuring their playoff spot to follow that third place finish. Back to you, Gino.
All right, thank you, Bridget. Coming up next on Friday Night Lights, the undefeated Wildcats from 29 Palms head south to meet Desert Mirage. And we'll get game reaction from Shadow Hills as Friday Night Lights can. Friday Night Lights continues now. Let's head back over to sports reporter Bridget Case with De Anza League action. Bridget.
Yeah, more De Anza League action this week with Valley games again all leading towards that one question, who would get a playoff berth this year? And it looks like the Rams were out of luck this week. Desert Mirage faced high desert foe 29 Palms this evening, an intimidating undefeated squad that would never let up on the Rams, demolishing their struggling offense, keeping their winning streak going. They crushed Desert Mirage and clinched the top seed in the De Anza League. Final score on the night for you, it's a 59-0 shutout for 29 Palms. Desert Mirage now sporting a 3-6 record for the season. They'll search for redemption next week against Big Bear. Desert Hot Springs welcomed the Big Bear Bears into the Valley tonight. The Golden Eagles off to a slow start behind 7-6 in the first quarter before feasting on that struggling Bears offense. Desert Hot Springs headed into the locker room with a comfortable 34-7 lead. But they wouldn't get too comfortable, making it 41-14 after 3, and the Golden Eagles would continue to dominate through the fourth until the clock ran out, and senior Marquise Denman, he was absolutely unstoppable tonight, finishing with 238 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. The Golden Eagles kicked the Bears out of town tonight with a 53-14 blowout. DHS is now 6-3 on the season. They look to keep their playoff dreams alive next week against Shadow Hills. Cathedral City had the night off tonight, enjoying that bye week after earning their first victory of the season last week against Indio. The Lions are now 1-8 on the season, and they will prepare for their toughest game of the year against Palm Springs next Friday. And next week, we'll bring you final full coverage of the regular high school football season and let you know who's lucky enough to get that invitation to the big dance. Gino?
All right, thank you, Bridget. Back out now to Julie Bueller with game reaction at Shadow Hills. Julie.
That's right, Gino. As Bridget was just pointing out, next week Shadow Hills and Desert Hot Springs will clash for hopefully an at-large bid. But tonight on the line was a guaranteed spot in the playoffs that Rancho Mirage earned in only its second varsity season with a 20-14 victory over Shadow Hills. I caught up with Marcus Pryor, quarterback / running back, and head coach LD Matthews with game reaction.
The Rancho Mirage Rattlers are playoff bound. What does that mean to you, and what kind of emotions are you feeling right now?
You know, first of all, I just want to thank God and, Shadow Hills for being such an amazing opponent. My team today, they're amazing. And, the defense stepped up big in the fourth quarter, and they came through for us. The offense had some struggles, but, defense came through for us like always.
I'm just extremely proud of our football team, our players. That 1-9 season is why we're here right now. We had to experience the tough battles, the being undersized, and so, for these kids to respond in the off season and for us to finish the season with a big win on the road against Shadow Hills, who was a great team, and clinch our first berth in the CI class is something that we'll remember for all of history.
We really did this for the seniors, because if we would have lost this, it could have been the last game. And they're our brothers, Rudy, Alexis, all of them. They're our brothers, man. And we have to go and do this for them. We have to go and do this for our coaches. They work so hard for us, particularly Coach Matthews. Like, he spends all his time working for us and just doing everything they can for us. And our guys just really bow through it. It's like an overwhelming feeling, because we've, from 1-9 to this point.
It's a bittersweet ending. Next week is the final week of regular season. It's always bittersweet. Gino, back to you.
All right, thank you, Julie. And you can always catch a recap of all of our coverage tonight on KMIR.com. More when we come back.